Greetings, my friends. Please consider supporting me in my war to save pop culture by subscribing to my channel and possibly even becoming a channel member for exclusive videos, access to Doomcock emojis, and more. And if you like this video in particular, please consider using the new Super Thanks feature and putting a tip in the tip jar located next to the like buttons down at the bottom of the video. We have these woke wankers on the run, my friends. We're winning this war, so don't lose heart. Thank you for watching, and now, on to the video. Yesterday was May the 4th, my friends. It's a day that some refer to as Star Wars Day, although really May 25th is more properly Star Wars Day, given that Star Wars premiered on May 25th, 1977. But May the 4th is noteworthy as a meme that fans latched onto, a day when fans used to go around saying, "May the 4th be with you." It's meant to be a day when people go around sharing their love of Star Wars, but I have to tell you on this Revenge of the 5th, that as things stand, I have grave doubts about the future of Star Wars at Disney. I have reason to believe that Disney has severely damaged, if not killed, the Star Wars franchise, and I'm going to share what I've learned with you today in this video. My friends, I have never seen less enthusiasm for Star Wars than I did last week when I released a video about a persistent rumor I received from sources regarding a top-secret Darth Vader series allegedly in development at Lucasfilm. This Darth Vader series is supposed to be a follow-up to the Kenobi series, which makes a certain amount of sense. After all, Kenobi and Vader go together like salt and pepper for Star Wars fans. There isn't another character in all of Star Wars with more mystique and power than Darth Vader, and given the amount of hatred being directed at Disney these days, following the leaked videos about their not-at-all secret gay agenda to fill their programming with queerness, the backlash against Disney in Florida and Texas, and the plummeting stock value, it makes sense that Disney would be desperate for a win. Kenobi may well deliver that win, we'll know about that shortly, but just the same, if there's any way to change the conversation away from inserting propaganda into children's programming, the announcement of a Darth Vader series would be it. Usually when I do a video like the one I did about the Vader series, it gets a lot of attention and enthusiasm from my viewers, but holy shit, people, that's not what happened this time. That's not what happened at all. Folks, that video was one of my worst performing videos in quite a while. That fact alone doesn't say much because, as any YouTuber knows, the algorithm giveth and the algorithm taketh away. I mentioned it in passing because it may be significant, but what was absolutely significant, undeniably significant, and potentially dire for the future of Star Wars under Disney were what fans were saying in the comments section of the video about this Darth Vader series. I've been publishing my channel for over 4 years now, and I've never seen such anger, such vitriol, and overall indifference to Star Wars expressed by fans since I began. I'm going to share a fair representation of these comments with you here in just a moment. I'm going to do my best to be fair, but I'm not a statistician, so if you think I'm cherry-picking comments, I urge you to go and read through the comments of that video for yourselves. The link is in the video description below, but I'm telling you, I was stunned at how little support there was among Star Wars fans for this proposed show. I mean, this is a Darth Vader TV series we're talking about here, people. Just a rumor at this point, yes, but nevertheless, I can't think of another series I'd rather see than Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, going around and taking out Jedi, dealing with threats to the Empire, kicking ass, and taking names. Darth Vader is my favorite Star Wars character. He's a favorite for a lot of fans, and one would think that the possibility of a Vader series would be a home run. But as you will see here, it wasn't. And when fans are responding to something like this with overwhelming rage, fear, and disgust, can we honestly say that Star Wars is still alive? Sure, I can understand fans hating Galaxy's Edge, laughing at the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, throwing up their hands and their lunch in disgust at how shoddy the Book of Boba Fett was. All of those are substandard garbage, tragic misfires and outright fuck-ups. But now, we're talking about Darth Vader. If not even Darth Vader can get Star Wars fans excited, I think it's possible that Disney has finally killed Star Wars. But here's some of the evidence submitted for your approval. Give it a listen and judge for yourself the state of Star Wars on this May 4th. Ian Spice says, I could not care less about Disney working on a Vader show. They simply cannot be trusted with an IP of a beloved universe. CES, Universal all have the same problem. Until they purge the garbage writers, they will continue to slide into the poorhouse. Everfree says, honestly, I would much rather we actually break the back of Disney to the point that they have no choice but to stop this nonsense. The thing is that every little thing that brings them back some support, some money, some goodwill, they just turn around and use it to keep pushing the other crap nonsense. I don't think they should have our support at all until we see a complete undoing of the bullshit that's been going on, both in the Star Wars universe, the planned destruction of Indiana Jones that is upcoming, and the distrust that they have sown with the parents of this nation in their programming and Disney Plus plans. Clinically inane, says great. There goes another great character down the crapper. Madman of Gotham says, the only thing Disney could do at this point to make me have less faith in anything they do would be if they hired Alex Kurtzman. Disney seems to be in competition with Kurtzman anyway on who can better destroy our heroes. Kenny James says, I will reserve judgment on this until after Kenobi comes out. If Kenobi is like Boba Fett, then I will no longer have any faith that Disney can make anything good, even after doing a good job with The Mandalorian, because I could see even The Mandalorian heading in the horrible direction Boba Fett went. David Unger says, I'm thinking the Kenobi series will actually mostly be about Vader and the Inquisitors in their search for Obi-Wan. I mean, a show of Kenobi sitting around Tatooine is not gonna fly. Like Boba Fett, Obi-Wan will be a side character in his own show. Sky Lizard Girl says it's going to be terrible. Everything Disney does to Star Wars is terrible. Brian A. says Disney is so twisted I would prefer they just stop making Star Wars shows. Nicholas Manning says, who cares? Vader is now useless in his own story thanks to Magic Hands Ray and Ben, who can heal people at will. If this is a common power, the entire plot of the Star Wars saga is useless. Disruptive Innovator says, I can't trust them to make a good Vader show. Not even Favreau and Filoni working together could protect Boba Fett. There is no hope anymore. They will have to produce another surprise hit to even raise my eyebrows. A second Hail Mary, just like they did with the first season of Mando. I have no hype for this. Just as I don't with Kenobi, Star Wars is in the wrong hands. Prediction. This will be Picard for Star Wars, the second final death. Skockery says, just an excuse to get Dr. Aphra in live action. Behind every male-titled series is the strong female character that they act like is something bold and new instead of just the common trope it is now. P. Keel says Vader should be used sparingly. Jason Pratt says current Disney showrunners, let's make a Darth Vader series. It'll be the bestest ever. Fans, no. Deep fans, do not want. Zephram Sajet says the burgeoning menace to the Empire is the dwindling fan base and expectations. Wallace Lang says, I hope that the rumor of a Darth Vader series on Disney Plus is true, but they have screwed up things so many times in recent years that I am ready for another failure again. I blame Shane Main says, I hope not, too many chances to ruin Vader. Mike Petty says, it's a great idea. Mike was in the minority, as you will see. 21st Century Monk says, at this point, hoping for any decent Star Wars series is like a drunk walking around with a bucket on his head, expecting not to run into something. Stephen Watson says, oh well, another character assassination coming up. Tango Bang says, no more Disney Plus series. They all suck and would have been better as movies. Vader will no doubt be starring a black female, probably more powerful than Vader with zero explanation, and Vader will be a supporting character. Disney's ownership of Star Wars should be illegal. Any parent guilty of such gross negligence would have their child taken away and put in protective services. That's where Star Wars should be. Rooftop Korean says still think a Vader trilogy between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back would do well, as long as it's written and directed by someone that actually cares about Star Wars lore. But that's a big ask for what the fans have been getting. After they took a giant dump on Boba Fett, I have zero hope that they're going to get things right. I'm sure they'll figure out how to make Obi-Wan a beta in his own show too. 14355 says, honestly at this point, I don't care anymore. Every teaser that Disney puts out that's supposed to make me feel excited keeps disappointing me. At this point, I'm just hardwired into automatically feeling insulted and patronized every time they put out a teaser that looks good in concept. That is some grizzled stuff, Disney. That should scare you. RJF says Star Wars is dead to me. They'll butcher it like they do everything. Kenobi will be a support character in his own series for a strong black female, so who cares? El Cruz says please just stop killing these characters. You would hope for good news, but with all the stuff that has come out of Lucasfilm, the hope is not there. And gone. Robert Hughes says we dropped Disney Plus last month. Life since has actually improved for our family. Sean Mook71 says just don't watch any Disney shows. If no one watches their garbage, then maybe they'll figure it out. Jay Carr says why not? Since the first 45 seconds of Last Jedi, Disney has not gotten a penny from my pocket and never will again. So far, it's been a really good choice. I'd advise you don't get hopes up. Just let everything Disney go. This was all their choice. F them. It's just not that big a deal. Dale Mayfield says, I have absolutely no faith in Disney doing anything right by Star Wars. They just don't get it. Your old Uncle Noonga, back from the dead, says, another male character, formerly cool and intimidating and once feared, will now be brought down to the mid level because we can't have strong male characters anymore. Kron Wayne says, meh, I'm done with Disney. I'll check back in about 10 years. If they've managed to tell some good Star Wars stories, I'll watch them then. Irate Pirate says, yes, finally. I've been trying to tell folks for years that just because Rogue One was better than the rest of Disney's Star Wars to date, it doesn't make it good, which in my esteemed opinion, it definitely ain't. Post-Trip says this could be a dangerous move. If they give it the Kennedy treatment, it's over. They will have taken the most iconic character and wussified him. There will be no going back. The mouse has dug a deep hole. They should have listened to Chapek. If they don't blow out the woke wankers, then it's the Titanic slowly sinking. If Obi hits, and if a green light for a Lucas Favreau Vader, then there is a glimmer of hope. I would take into account what has recently happened and bring Maul in somewhere rather quickly, please the fans, or forget it. L. Don Hubbard says Vader is the best character to do a short series about. Cranwa15 says Disney is running out of ideas. I don't want a Darth Vader series. They already screwed up Boba Fett. Disney is so woke now, they don't know who are their audiences anymore. Disney needs to wake up and wake up now. They should and only should make Star Wars for the millions of old school and new school Star Wars fan base. They have a better chance of keeping the Star Wars franchise from collapsing. They seem to forget that it's the Star Wars fan base, not the woke people, that kept the franchise alive all these years. With numerous private and general conventions, cosplay, video games, books, arts, fan films, and toys. Disney needs to understand this now. If not, Star Wars could lose interest and eventually decline in popularity. Well, it is that loss of interest and decline in popularity that we seem to be experiencing right now with these comments, which is the point of this video. Nuno Correa says another character they'll ruin, no hope. Brigand Boy says it's simple really. They don't write good stories. I just saw The Northman and it was brilliant. Not pleasant, but brilliant. They don't do these stories justice anymore. You have myths and legends, stories that are older even than our current civilizations, and yet they think the Twitter cloud and appeasing some witch in the formerly HR culture and diversity department of an office cubicle hellscape is more important than creating interesting or good stories. I want them to leave Star Wars alone. I want them to leave Darth Vader alone. They cannot be trusted not to utterly ruin everything they touch. They aren't the worst people on the planet, but they are not good people either. Dan Drake says can't wait for them to completely break Darth Vader with some horrible woke series. Not interested in anything Disney does anymore. Cancel Disney Plus after the Zooms. This is a hell of a thing to have to consider on May the 4th. I was stunned by the things I just read to you. Now it's entirely possible that the hostility and indifference contained in these comments is not really directed at Star Wars so much, but at Disney itself, a corporation that many fans feel has betrayed them, betrayed their trust, betrayed their faith, betrayed their values. There's something frankly creepy and unsettling about a company trying to further their social and political agenda by inserting messages, memes, and subliminals in their content that targets children. And so it may well be that the reactions to news of a possible Vader series were tainted by hatred of Disney, not a rejection of Star Wars itself, though if that's the case, it begs the question, can Star Wars survive at Disney if everyone now hates Disney? I can't say for sure. In this case, I can only speculate, and I think that your comments in the comments section of this video will be as revealing as anything I can say, but I do know this. Kathleen Kennedy damaged Star Wars so utterly, it will never again attain its former glory. For a long time, it was magical, singular, something without peer. Now, it's a middle-of-the-road franchise at best, running the gamut from humdrum to shit, with a few sparkles of brilliance defiantly gleaming in a dark sea of mediocrity, thanks to Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, and I bless them for it. They've done the best they can to keep the dream alive, and who knows? If Kenobi succeeds brilliantly, as I hope it will, Star Wars may yet be pulled back from the edge of the abyss, but I am here to tell Disney the situation with Star Wars is grim, far worse than Disney realizes if these comments are representative of the greater fandom. And frankly, as optimistic as I've tried to be about Star Wars, I suspect my audience is more optimistic than most of them on YouTube. So Disney, I'm telling you, I suspect you've got a massive Star Wars problem on your hands, worse than any of us imagined. In conclusion, I will simply say, may the 4th be with you, but then again, it may not. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha